Today, we're here to talk about the Day of Simon. That is the next upcoming High Holy Day. And the Lord God commanded for us to keep all of his High Holy Days.
The book of 1 Maccabees, chapter 2, verse 1. In those days arose Mattathias, the son of John, the son of Simeon, a priest of the sons of Joreb, from Jerusalem, and dwelt in Modin.
Read.
And he had 5 sons.
Now pay attention. These are the sons. These are the sons of Mattathias. Read.
Jonan called Cadus, Simon called Thasi, Judas who was called Maccabeus, Eleazar called Abiram, and Jonathan whose surname was Aphus.
So as you can see here, these are all the sons of Mattathias, but we're here to concentrate on Simon. Let's go to 1 Maccabees chapter 13, verse 1.
The book of 1 Maccabees chapter 13, verse 1. Now when Simon heard that Tryphon had gathered together a great host to invade the land of Judea and destroy it,
Read.
and saw that the people was in great trembling and fear, he went up to Jerusalem and gathered the people together.
Okay, so here Simon heard that Tryphon wanted to invade the land of Judea. And he saw that his people were scared. They were in great turmoil, over this news that this enemy of the Jews, Tryphon, wanted to destroy their land.
Verse 3, and gave them exhortation, saying, Ye yourselves know what great things I and my brethren and my father's house have done for the laws and the sanctuary, the battles also, and troubles which we have seen.
So he gives them an explanation saying, me and my family have done. I'm perfect for the job.
Verse 4, by reason whereof all my brethren are slain for Israel's sake, and I am left alone. Now therefore be it far from me that I should spare mine own life in any time of trouble, for I am no better than my brethren.
So here Simon was saying, he reminded of what his brothers have done. Understand the Maccabees, it's all about these brothers whooping butt. And he's saying that he's willing to lay down for Israel. He's the only one left out of all of his brothers, and he's willing to die just like his brothers.
Verse 6, doubtless I will avenge my nation and the sanctuary and our wives and our children, for all the heathen are gathered to destroy us of very malice.
Right here he's saying he's going to protect his nation, and he's saying for all the heathen, the Edomites are going to try to destroy Israel.
And if you notice here, he states that our children are going to avenge his nation, his sanctuary, his wives and children. One thing that we have to understand about our people traditionally were family people. Not like today. Today you have a lot of single-led households and no one believes in family and everyone have, sex with whoever and people have multiple babies. But that's not how it was. It was all about family. It wasn't, to screw my family. No. It was, I'm here to avenge my family. All right? Number 7, read.
Now as soon as the people heard these words, their spirit revived.
Okay, so meaning that what? They heard these words, they became motivated, they were no longer distraught, and they were uplifted now.
Verse 8, and they answered with a loud voice, saying, Thou shalt be our leader instead of Judas and Jonathan thy brother. Fight thou our battles, and whatsoever thou commandest us, that we will do.
Okay, so right here the people are saying, you're the last one out of your brothers left, so we want you to lead us. Whatever you say, we'll do, because we trust you and your family.
Verse 10, so then he gathered together all the men of war, and made haste to finish the walls of Jerusalem, and he fortified it round about. Also he sent Jonathan, the son of Absalom, and with him a great power, to Joppa, who casting out them that were therein remained there in it.
Simon gathered together all of the men that were set to be soldiers, the men of war. All right, and they commenced to building and fortifying Jerusalem, building those walls, making a nice stronghold. Okay, and right here in 11 it said that he sent Jonathan to Joppa.
The book of 1 Maccabees chapter 13 verse 12. So Tryphon removed from Ptolemais with a great power to invade the land of Judea, and Jonathan was with him in war.
So you have Tryphon here who was going to invade Judea, and notice he had Jonathan with him because Jonathan was captive. All right.
Verse 13. But Simon pitched his tents in Adida over against the plain. Verse 14. Now when Tryphon knew that Simon was risen up instead of his brother Jonathan and meant to join battle with him, he sent messengers unto him, saying, Whereas we have Jonathan thy brother in hold, it is for money that he is owing unto the king's treasure, concerning the business that was committed unto him.
Okay, so Simon set up his camp at Adida. So here we see that Tryphon found out that Simon had risen up to become the leader of the Jews. So he sent the message stating that they have your brother. He captured your brother and he's holding him for money that is owed to him. But this is not a true statement, okay? And we're going to find that out.
Verse 16, Wherefore now sent 100 talents of silver and 2 of his sons for hostages, that when he is at liberty he may not revolt from us, and we will let him go.
So Tryphon made his demand stating that he needs 100 talents of silver, and he needs to hold 2 of his sons for hostages.
Verse 17, Hereupon Simon, albeit he perceived that they spake deceitfully unto him, yet sent he the money and the children, lest peradventure he should procure to himself great hatred of the people.
So Simon here, he knows he's being lied to by these Edomites. If he sends the money and the children, they're just going to die anyways. But if he doesn't, all the people are going to hate him. So he's kind of stuck here.
Yeah, he's seriously stuck between a rock and a hard place, and it's like, what should he do?
Verse 18, Who might have said, Because I sent him not the money and the children, therefore is Jonathan dead.
Read.
So he sent them the children and the hundreds of talents. Howbeit Tryphon disassembled, neither would he let Jonathan go.
Even though he sent the money and he knew that this enemy of the Jews was lying, he had no choice. And what happened? He didn't let Jonathan go.
Verse 20, And after this came Tryphon to invade the land and destroy it, going round about by the way that leadeth unto Adora. But Simon and his hosts marched against him in every place, wheresoever he went.
So here, Tryphon came into the land to destroy it, but everywhere he went, Simon had a stronghold. He had a great defensive position, and was repelling the invasion. You want to read?
Verse 21, Now they that were in the tower sent messengers unto Tryphon, to the end that he should hasten his coming unto them by the wilderness, and he sent them victuals.
Here it says that the towers sent messages to Tryphon. And victuals right here means food. Let's go 22, read.
22, Wherefore Tryphon made ready all his horsemen to come that night, but there fell a very great snow, by reason whereof he came not. So he departed and came into the country of Galaad. Verse 23, And when he came near to Boskamah, he slew Jonathan, who was buried there. Afterwards Tryphon returned and went into his own land.
So as soon as he came near, Jonathan was killed, and then Tryphon ran away back into his own land.
25, read.
Verse 25, Then they sent Simon, and took the bones of Jonathan his brother, and buried them in Modin, the city of his fathers.
So when he found out where Jonathan's bones were, then he dug him up and he took him and buried him with his father.
Verse 26, And all of Israel made great lamentation for him, and bewailed him many days.
So of course they were sad, they were quite depressed, they were in deep lamentations for Jonathan's murder.
The book of 1 Maccabees chapter 13 verse 27. Simon also built a monument upon the sepulchre of his father and his brethren, and raised it aloft to the sight, and with hewn stone behind and before. Moreover, he set up 7 pyramids, one against another, for his father and his mother and his 4 brethren.
We are the ones who created the pyramids. We made everything, and everyone just stole it from us, even religion.
Read.
Verse 29, and in these he made cunning devices, about the which he set great pillars, and upon the pillars he made all their armor for a perpetual memory, and by the armor ships carved, that they might be seen of all that sail on the sea. Verse 30, this is the sepulchre which he made at Modin, and it standeth yet unto this day.
Okay, so he made monuments for his family.
Verse 31, now Tryphon dealt deceitfully with the young king Antiochus, and slew him.
Now this isn't the Antiochus you're thinking of. This is his great-great-great-great-great-grandson.
And he reigned in his stead, and crowned himself king of Asia, and brought a great calamity upon the land.
So you see that this enemy of the Jews made himself king and depressed the land.
Verse 33, then Simon built up the strongholds in Judea, and fenced them about with high towers, and great walls, and gates, and bars, and laid up victuals therein.
Okay, so you see here that Simon superiorly fortified Judea. Look at the description here. High towers, great walls, gates, bars. You know these are black people. And laid up with victuals therein. So he had food within.
Verse 34, moreover, Simon chose men and sent them to King Demetrius, to the end he should give the land an immunity, because all that Tryphon did was to spoil.
So he said here, all Tryphon did was steal. So what Simon did is he used wisdom, and he went to another Greek king, King Demetrius, that they would establish a covenant with each other, so that Simon would not have to worry about all the Greeks, because all the Greeks wanted to destroy the Jews. So this is one less kingdom that's coming after. So he used a lot of wisdom here by establishing immunity. All right, 35, read.
Verse 35, unto whom King Demetrius answered, and he wrote after this manner. King Demetrius unto Simon, the high priest and friend of kings, as also unto the elders and the nation of the Jews, sendeth greeting. The golden crown and the scarlet robe, which ye sent unto us, have received, and we are ready to make a steadfast peace with you. Yea, and to write unto our officers to confirm the immunities which we have granted.
Okay, so he sent gifts, golden crown, scarlet robe, okay, along with the fact that he wanted peace. He wanted a partnership, a peace and a covenant with them, okay, and all praises to the Most High, it was accepted.
Verse 38, and whatsoever covenants we have made with you shall stand, and the strongholds which ye have builded shall be your own.
So again, it is reiterated here in 38 that the covenants, the agreements that they made, shall continue.
Verse 39, as for any oversight or fault committed unto this day, we forgive it, and the crown tax also, which ye owe us. And if there were any other tribute paid in Jerusalem, it shall no more be paid.
So now that they're allies, anything that's owed to them is no longer owed to them. Any bad dealings, any bad business, no more revenge, no more disagreements. Everything is at peace.
Verse 40, and look who are meet among you, you to be in our court. Let then be enrolled, and let there be peace betwixt us.
So again, they wanted peace, okay? And look who are meet among you to be in our court. Let them be enrolled.
Verse 41. Thus the yoke of the heathen was taken away from Israel in the 170th year.
So the burden of the enemies of the Jews was lifted from us.
Verse 42. Then the people of Israel began to write in their instruments and contracts in the first year of Simon, the high priest, the governor, and the leader of the Jews. Verse 43. In those days Simon camped against Gaza and besieged it round about. He made also an engine of war and set it by the city and battered a certain tower and took it.
So we sieged the city and we used a battery to run into it.
Exactly. So yes, we definitely surrounded this city. We had a big battering ram and we busted up.
Verse 44. And they that were in the engine leaped into the city, whereupon there was a great uproar in the city.
So within the battering ram, you had soldiers that were inside. So as soon as they busted their way in, the soldiers jumped out and invaded the city.
Verse 45. Insomuch as the people of the city rent their clothes and climbed upon the walls with their wives and children and cried with a loud voice, beseeching Simon to grant them peace.
Okay, so here you have the citizens of the city tearing their clothes. They were in great despair, trying to climb the walls with their wives and their kids, and crying out and begging for Simon to please have mercy on us. Read.
Verse 46. And they said, Deal not with us according to our wickedness, but according to thy mercy.
So here they're begging to Simon to please don't deal with us according to our wickedness. Wow. But they're begging for mercy.
Verse 47. So Simon was at peace toward them, and fought no more against them, but put them out of the city, and cleansed the houses wherein the idols were, and so entered into it with songs and thanksgiving.
So we won, and we fought no more of the city, and we cleansed the houses where the idols were. And so we entered into thanksgiving and songs because we're happy.
Because what we did here is we took back our city. So we kicked them out. We cleansed their houses where the idols were. Okay, and then we began singing, and we were happy because we took our city back.
Verse 48. Yea, he put all uncleanness out of it, and placed such men there as would keep the law, and made it stronger than it was before, and built therein a dwelling place for himself.
Okay, so understand this thing, that the only people that we should have around us are what? People who are keeping the law. Simon said that he put out all uncleanness. Put it out. And the only men around him are those that are going to keep the law. Men who keep the law have made it stronger than before. 49, read.
Verse 49. They also of the tower in Jerusalem were kept so strait that they could neither come forth, nor go into the country, nor buy, nor sell. Wherefore they were in great distress for want of victuals, and a great number of them perished through famine.
So here it says that Simon set up sanctions so that nothing comes in or out. Nothing to sell, nothing to buy, no food in, nothing out. And this right here created a want for food. That's what victuals means, food. Okay? And a large number of inhabitants of the inhabitants, they died because of starvation.
Verse 50. Then cried they to Simon, beseeching him to be at one with them, which thing he granted them. And when he had put them out from thence, he cleansed the tower from pollution.
So again, in order to get that tower cleared out, he had to impose those sanctions. And as soon as he had the opportunity to, he kicked them out and he cleansed the tower of any pollutions. Okay, and what are those pollutions? They're idols. Just understand this thing of how much the Most High hates your idols. That's one of his top commandments.
The book of 1 Maccabees chapter 13 verse 51. And entered into it the 3 and 20th day of the second month in the 171st year, with thanksgiving and branches of palm trees, and with harps and cymbals, and with viols and hymns and songs, because there was destroyed a great enemy out of Israel.
And we celebrated on the 23rd day of the second month, and we do it with thanksgiving, with palm trees, harps and cymbals, and viols and hymns, which are songs. And why do we do it? We do it because we destroyed our enemy.
And understand this thing. This is a high holy day, folks. All right, let's be clear. It's the 3 and 20th day of the second month, right? And it's 23 days after in the second month that we're to keep the day of Simon. Most people haven't heard of the day of Simon. So we're to keep it 23 days. 23 days into the second month. And that second month begins after the new moon.
The book of 1 Maccabees, chapter 13, verse 52. He ordained also that day should be kept every year with gladness. Moreover, the hill of the temple that was by the tower he made stronger than it was, and there he dwelt himself with his company.
So here it is ordained that the day of Simon should be kept every year. And notice it says with gladness. There's a common theme here, with thanksgiving, with gladness. Folks, this is one of the reasons why the Most High cursed us, because we did not obey his laws, statutes, and commandments joyfully. That's one of the key things. We act like it was some kind of a burden.
Verse 53, and when Simon saw that John his son was a valiant man, he made him the captain of all the host, and he dwelt in Gezerah.
So, as we see here, Simon's son John was a brave man. And in so, Simon promoted him to captain of all. So he was more like a general. The captain of all the host, all the troops, all the soldiers. All right.